Hello chums, and welcome to yet another Sheepish look at. Today we'll be taking a look at the Jak and Daxter collection on the Sony PlayStation 4 and oh boy, okay, so Sony really screwed the pooch this time around. This collection is nothing more than a fucking travesty. It is terrible. I don't know what they've done. Now, of course, hold on, my words are failing me. The collection includes the likes of Jak and Daxter 1, you know, the classic game, Jak 2, Jak 3, and Jak X, basically the entire PS2 library of Jak and Daxter titles. Which is good, But my good god, what they've done to these games is just how I don't understand how Sony was able to let the games be released in this state. Now, let me explain. Okay, to start things off, Jak and Daxter 1, the precursor legacy, is basically exactly as it was on the PS2, almost. It has a couple of frame rate drops here and there, but that is without a doubt the best game in this collection right now. That is the most stable title. And even that one actually had a lot of bugs when it launched. The reason that one's so stable is because they updated it over time. Jak 2? Well, how can I put this? The cutscenes have sound popping. There's oodles of graphical bugs basically everywhere. The game runs about 20% slower than it should, so everything in this game that you do is in slow motion. You'll be running, and like it took me a few seconds to click as to what was going on, because I just thought I was misremembering Jak 2 when I first played it, but no, the game runs 20% slower than the original PS2 release. So Jak basically looks like he's constantly on the moon going, no, and the emulation is just bloody terrible. Absolutely bloody terrible. Jak 3 is a little bit better in this regard, I will be honest, because it got rid of the basic slow-mo issue that Jak 2 has. However, Jak 3 has an incredibly janky frame rate where some instances apparently run perfectly at 60 FPS. I haven't seen any instances yet, but I'm going off what other people told me because I haven't played too much of this. I just played enough to get a feel of the port and that's it, but some areas apparently run at perfect 60 FPS, and then some areas will run at fucking speed, you know? Like the entire intro sequence that you're probably watching right now is just a mess of frames. It's like a bloody slideshow, and it is, good god. And of course, finally we have Jak X, which is actually one of the more competent emulation efforts here, where it's kind of more closer to Jak and Daxter 1 in terms of performance. There's still a lot of frame rate drops. Sorry. Whenever there's a lot of explosions and all that kind of nonsense going on screen. But for the most part, Jak X is a pretty competent one out of this slot. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's probably the most competent. And for this collection, I gotta ask, Sony, where was your quality department right now? I mean, surely one of you people at the studio would have gone and thought, hang on a minute, Jak 2 is running slow. We should sort that out. No, not just rush it out. It's bloody ridiculous. It's just bloody ridiculous. Why would... As you can tell, I'm a little bit tilted here, folks, because I'm genuinely upset about this collection and how it was handled. Because Jak and Daxter is one of my favorite titles on the PS2. I love the series to death. And the PS3 version of the games were not perfect either, but at least they were still functional. For some reason, the PS4 release here is just a fucking travesty. It's everything that could possibly be wrong is wrong. Now, this video is going to probably be a shorter Sheepish look at because it's basically just a rant. But I am going to say I'm going to probably redo this in the future when updates start coming out, because Jak and Daxter 1, The Precursor Legacy, actually predates the rest of the games in this collection on the PS4. And as a result, that got patched. And I know that game launched as broken mess. Like, you could, when it first launched, you couldn't even 100% complete the game. It just froze. So, yeah, when this gets updated, I'm probably going to do another video on it. Because, Jesus Christ. Jesus. Sony, do better with your franchises, for Christ's sake. Oy. And with that, I'm just gonna call it a video here. This is more of a rant than it is a genuine Sheepish look at, but don't worry if anyone actually wants a full-blown proper Sheepish look at video. I'm gonna make one of them basically right after this and release it the same day, because I've recently been playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I want to get my thoughts out on that game. So, yeah, with that, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And, for the love of God, do not buy the Jak and Daxter collection. At least not yet. Wait for a while. I'll probably make a video when it actually gets reasonable so I can actually cover it properly, because I'm not playing this mess as it is. This mess is literally unplayable the way they've released it. Actually, Jak and Daxter 1 is playable, and Jak X, I think you can do pretty well as well. So, those two games are okay. It's just the rest of the collection, fucking Jesus Christ. And even Jak X I'm not too fond of because the frame rate drops are a bit obnoxious, but that's another thing for another time. Anyway, as I said, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all again. Bye-bye.